Hello, this is Mike. NoStressMike.com. Oh, wow. I'm done with my jog. And it was funny because I was thinking last night, my cousin and I were talking. And my cousin, he's all Chinese. All business. This guy's all business. And it's funny because he's done some, when I was training SWAT, he helped me out a few times. And so he knows, that I stay active. And then he's the one that owned the convenience store that I shot the guy in. And so he knows I'm not talk. So, and it was funny because he was kind of giving me hell because I'm always asking him, okay, when here you've been hearing me talk about morals. Okay, my cousin's a real nice guy. He really is. He's a whole lot nicer than me. And but like I say, we both owned restaurants, and I always look forward to throwing people out, And I mean, it's like a floor show that come on anytime, And but he did things differently than me. And hey, and he hears me talking about he hears me talking about the morals, and she's never thought about morals. He's not a religious kind of guy at all, and he thought that morals is something the religious people have. And that's what I was talking about. I'm highly spiritual, but I am not religious at all. And I mean, when I pray, it's between me and God. I don't pray to the church. The church is good for guidance, but I don't do that either. So I'm more of a hands-on. The stories they talk about is the stuff that I get myself into. So I learn the hard way. And but what I was thinking, and what he was saying was, he doesn't like to think about morals. He says when he thinks about morals, it's too black and white. And that's what I told him. I said, before I hurt someone or shoot someone and stuff like this, I kind of like a black and white kind of thing on this. I don't like it, maybe. How do you maybe destroy somebody's life because, maybe. No, it doesn't work that way. To me. I mean, before I destroy your life, I want to know for sure that there's a good reason for it. And so that's why I tell people to think, morals. And because you're going to make the right decisions, like my cousin was saying, he knows right and wrong. I mean, there's no question about that. And that's why he hates to put morals involved in that. And so, but he doesn't understand, and it's what I brought to his attention. Okay, you've heard of moral high ground. Okay, the reason is not only you can have two people that are equal in all ways, but that's not possible, but let's say it is. They're equal in all ways, and then the one person is doing something immoral. I mean, we're talking to the extremes now. Somebody's doing immoral things, but some people just do inappropriate things. And that's not really a moral basis. It could be, I guess, but that's not what I'm talking about. But one person is doing immoral stuff, and then the other person is moral. Who do you think's got the high ground, the benefits? Who's got more things going for them? It'll be the moral person. This is why I talk about think morals. You're going to be making the right decision. If you're a good person, you're going to be looking for the right and wrong all the time. But when you're thinking of, okay, well, that's the right thing, and then you think, oh, well, that's the morally right thing too. Well, then you start thinking like that all the time. And when you're thinking of that, then it'll be easier when it's time to man up. It's time to be brave. That will give you the strength. I mean, I don't know how many times, I was brought up in the racial days, and then there was all the time large groups, and it doesn't matter if they're black or white or what, coming after me, because I'm the one that's not either one of them. So, you can be scared when all this happens or not. And now I'm older. I've done more of the moral stuff. I've done all the violence that they were talking about, or it was going on at the time in the racial days. I've lived through it. I've done things. Some were right and some were wrong. Like I say, you hear me talk about I don't run because I've got so much strength. I'd rather use that strength to defend myself and to stand behind my morals. So, there's, you have to realize when you are manning up, you're being brave, you're doing the right thing. It's not going to be easy, and you've made a decision that you're going to do it. Okay, there's a car wreck and somebody gets thrown out of the car and they're laying on the street all blooded up and nasty. Okay, well, you just say, well, I'll dial 911, so, or you can get over there and you can see if there's something you can do for this person, because there is something you can do for them. The first thing, you need to evaluate the situation, and then you do what you think is the morally right thing to do. And there's Kansas, I think Oklahoma's got it too. It's a Good Samaritan law. In other words, when you are attempting to do something good and helpful for someone, they can't hold you liable for making a mistake. For me, that's the way I live my life. I don't know if I'm doing it right or wrong. Now, nowadays, I've done enough stuff that it's more. I know more that I'm doing it right than before. But there's still times that I get myself involved in things that I don't know if it's right or wrong. And but the thing is, that's what makes it manning up or being brave, is when you are in a situation that you don't normally get into, and you've got to make decisions, and you've got to do things, and even if it's something happens and you get in there and you start yelling at people, hey, you go over there and you go over there, so like that, that is still, you're manning up, you're being brave, you're thinking. Okay, and the reason I'm talking about all this stuff is to do that, it's much easier if you're prepared. That's where you hear me talk a lot about being prepared. Yes, you can financially destroy me. Well, no, you can't, because I'm prepared. And it's not like I'm prepared like I got a lot of money, but I'm prepared is I've got skills, I've got knowledge. These things will bring me something. Now, I might not get rich, but you can't completely financially destroy me. I've got gold and silver. And I've I've prepared by learning stuff so I can share it. And like I say, the gold and silver, I don't have it in one place. I got it stashed in different places. And these are the things that I'm talking about on being prepared. Not only I have the skills, but there's not every skill that I have, but what I feel are the most important skills and the ones that it's easier for me, I will have the stuff that I need to make these skills work. Okay, if somebody is sickly and somebody comes up and says, I'm a doctor, and they say, oh, okay, and then they'll look at you and they say, yeah, you're sick, but they don't have anything, nothing. I mean, they can't fix you. They don't have the tools, whether the tools are a broken leg and a compound fracture, and they don't have the stuff to fix it all. I mean, if you don't have what it takes to make your skill useful, then it's not a usable skill. So that's why a lot of people don't realize the skills that I have, because I don't have all the stuff I need to make those skills work. But if you put me in the place where I've got the tools to do it, you're going to find out, man, he really does have these skills. It's funny because, I say I've had restaurants. When I went to New Orleans after Katrina, I went there on the motorcycle, and that place was bad. That was real bad. And so I go in there and I'm trying to find out, now where do I go that I can help people? And so I found a camp, and at this camp they had showers, they had tents, and they had a food kitchen. And so then they said, well, and I said, well, I'd like to help. Is there something you need help in? But the thing is, I got there in the middle of the afternoon. Everybody was already out on their work details and stuff, so I can't go out and do anything on that. And they said, well, we need some broccoli cleaned up. And then, so they had this case of broccoli, and then I started doing it. And they had the knife, they had the work table, they had the broccoli, and so I started doing my stuff. They couldn't believe how much I did. I did that whole box in like 15 minutes, and that's a couple 2 or 3 hour job, So, they how do you do that? And I said, well, I've owned restaurants. I've done this stuff before, so. And so I did a lot of other stuff on that, but it was to show them, and I don't want to take over their kitchen. I just want to help them. And that's not even really what I'm there for. I'm there to do the hoi chi. So then they said, well, okay, well, what's the hoi chi? So I had to explain the hoi chi, and then I started doing the hoi chi. And then as people were coming in from the work, doing the cleaning up houses and stuff like that, they'd come in, and then I'd start doing the hoi chi on them. Because I had my table, and I had my tools to do my work on the motorcycle with the dog. And so, they gave me a place to stay, and they had showers, and they had food. And so, hey, I got plenty of people to work on. And this is what I'm saying. And these are the things that give people the idea that somebody is brave. But it's not, these are heroes and stuff like that. No, it's just these people made difficult decisions during difficult times. And it's easier to make those decisions, like I say, when you have the skills, you've thought about it, you've practiced, the best you can, and then you have morals. These are the things that will make it a whole lot easier. And like I say, and I've done this over and over again. I'll tell you a good example is my wife. Man, my wife was brave as can be. She would get involved in stuff. She's not a doer. She really liked being a housewife. She liked being treated like a lady and stuff like that. But boy, when she acted like a lady and stuff like that. But there's times when she put down the lady thing to the side, and then she start telling people, you do this, you do that, and they listened, and she did it to police, she did it to soldiers. I mean, she did that to a lot of people. It was interesting, and so that's what I'm saying. And this is where both of us, we fed off of each other. And she always thought, man, you're stupid, you shouldn't get involved. And then when she sees me doing all this stuff all the time, then she started thinking, this guy's a little weird. And then once she understood, okay, it's not luck that gets him through all this stuff. He's thought this stuff out, and he knows what he's doing. And then she started getting more bold and started doing stuff like that. So anybody can do it. This is why when I do the 3-man militias, I say, get around the people that you are more comfortable with. In other words, they share the same morals. We talk about, okay, something bad, it's getting, there's somebody bad over there, and I say, well, I'll go get him. And then the Marines, the other Marine would say, no, I get him. And then we argue among ourselves on who gets to go in and kick his ass. And the thing is, we all had a plan. We all got the same plan. And the thing is, but we also realize if I go over there and do it, and it turns out I bit off a little more than I could chew, those guys will come over and get involved too. So, I don't care if there was 10 people there and there's 3 of us Marines, one will stand up, but like I say, it don't mean the other 2 aren't going to do nothing, and we're just waiting because we're learning from him. What did he do that, how come, he walked up there and they cold cocked him? Well, I'm not going to let that happen. So then you go over there to save your friend. This is where the 3-man militia is all about. You need to work with each other. You need to help each other, not only in skills, but like I say, morals. You need somebody to back you up. When they share your same morals, then your morals are even stronger. And that'll give you the advantage. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.